Hello and welcome to my channel. My name is Alex and today I'm going to be sorting out a few problems on the Carry. Myself and my wife were going to go on a little bit of a road trip and unfortunately we got halfway up the road, a lot of squeaking, a lot of grinding noises coming from the left hand side front. This eventually sorted itself out, only to be replaced by some on the right, so I gave up and went in the Skoda Fabia, which unfortunately has been leaking from the gearbox. So you know, you can't have everything with vehicles. But prior to this, the rear door hatch has broken, which I replaced with a part. I'll put the replacement part in the links. Also, the bonnet latch went the day before, and a jacking point crumbled as well. So today I'm going to be trying to sort out the brakes and hopefully welding in a new part to the jacking point. So I'll show you exactly what's happening. The scraping noise was caused by the disc shield just catching on the disc itself, so easy fix. This is a jack that's fitted in the van. I'm not entirely sure it's the original one and I was convinced it was too small. As you can see, maxed out, it's probably about an inch or so too small, so I needed to block it up with something. And this is what happened. As you can see, loads of rust, loads of dirt. With the additional height, it jacked up and then all of a sudden heard this horrible crunching noise, followed by the jacking plate completely disintegrating. And that's why it's rusted apart. It's a bit of a water trap right by the looks of things, right behind the mud flap. So first things first, I'm going to get the pressure washer in there, get rid of any loose dirt and rust, and we'll see about getting it sorted. After much grinding and scraping, it's time to make a template and then find some metal, which I should have some lying around somewhere. The remaining jacking point structure is pretty solid, so I'm just going to get on with some rust treatment. Hopefully that'll future proof it a little while longer. Yep, looks like bird droppings, but it's solid enough. I was on a bit of a roll doing this, so I decided to treat even more of the rust around the area. Still loads more to do. Not good for my back, but those seals really needed doing. There's no end to rust on these carries. Next on my list of jobs to do is the bonnet latch spring. So I've just got to take the grill off first, which is held on by 4 bolts. And then hopefully when we get into the latch, you'll see it's just held on by the 2 bolts there, which is pretty easy to remove. And rust strikes again. As you can see, the spring has rusted to the point of breaking in half. I got the new spring off eBay. It wasn't a Suzuki part, it was just a spring really, and I think that cost me about £2 or £3. Definitely one of the easier fixes I've had, and the cheapest. Job's a good one. After a recent trip out to Lincolnshire, I found when I was getting in and out of my van, I was losing my footing a bit. So I've decided to bulk this up with a bit of old ply, part of an old pallet, painted with anti-slip paint, which I'm just going to screw straight into the existing boards. And then rooting through my old spares that came with the van, I found these. So hopefully that'll be making me a little bit more foot sure when I'm getting in and out. I've also drilled some holes underneath, and I'm going to put some smaller screws in as well, just to make sure it's all secured. Another improvement I really could have done with my little trip, as well as future trips, is more power outlets. I noticed that whilst I had my sat-nav going, I couldn't plug my phone in anywhere to charge. So this I've had lying around for some while in the shed. It was fitted to one of my motorbikes, so I'm going to have to fit that in somewhere. So I've had a good look round, and one of the places I thought would probably be the best, simply because it fits in, is in this little cubby hole there. There is a hole in the back already, so that'd be good for the power outlet, and this little bracket actually fits in really well, and that's what the USB body will slide into. So all I've got to do is get everything removed, get this fitted in, bolt it in place, and then we get it wired in. That's the dash removed. That should have been fixed in with some screws, but it wasn't. No wonder it's so wobbly. This is then fitted in with 4 screws, 1, 2, 3, 4, and then in order to take this out, I'm going to have to remove 2 screws either side, so I'll get on with that. I'll get the power from the existing cigarette lighter fuse in the fuse box, and I'm using this piggyback fuse, which will mean that it's a switched one, so as soon as the ignition's turned on, it'll come on. I've also done a video for fitting a piggyback fuse as well. If you're interested, check it out. I've wired it in before I fully fit it back together, just to make sure that it works okay, and I'm just going to try it out on this phone. There we go, charging. So that's all good. So I know all the connections are good, I know the wiring's good, and I know the fuse is working as well. So I'll stick that back together and show you what it looks like. Overall, I wasn't really that happy with the final look, so I just made this little panel just to sort of take the edge off it, and I'm possibly thinking of making one that goes all the way across, because this is the connection for my fans that are there, and I'd rather have that wired into a proper fuse switch that could then be fitted in the panel that goes across there. Hope you like this little update on the old Carry. Don't forget, give us a thumbs up, leave a comment, and subscribe if you haven't done so already, and check out some of my other Carry videos. Thanks for watching. I'll catch you on the next one.